What's going on, guys? My name is Rumble Skrash, and in today's video I want to talk about actually the JP version of the game. Uh, Last days, two new Sugafest exclusive have released, being the new B3 Zoro and the new Legend Kaido. Zoro is a Dex super type and Kaido is a Quick super type. I was really interested in seeing their abilities in Pyro Rumble and how that is gonna affect the current quote unquote meta of the slashers and everything. And I gotta say I'm quite surprised because I mean Zoro, yes, of course he's slasher, so he further buffs the slashers, but the thing is like the slashers already have a lot of good units, so Zoro is a nice addition to the options that you have, but it's not really going to be that game changing because the Zoro, we will go through what he does in Pyro Rumble, but the special basically relies on him being activated at the very late game, and the slashers do not really do that, so because they win before late game. So yeah, in some kind of niche slasher teams which are planned out not to last to last very long and kill the enemy team at the end of the match and not at the very start, then he's gonna definitely be very good. You will gonna be seeing. But the thing is that the new Legend Kaido is actually quite broken, and it's very surprising that they went for that kind of new meta because the thing is, with Kaido and Zoro being quick and dex super types, um, like there's a lot of quick and dex Pyro Rumble focused units, but the thing is that they have never really been that great. So we might be seeing a change with that. Mostly, I think with quick teams, but definitely with dex teams, there's a lot of options because dex teams are can be really tanky, and if you add this Zoro that at the end of the match he will be killing, then you will probably be able to do some great stuff. Considering also that there's a lot of cost 20 units that are Dex focused. So like for example the Pyro Rumble Sobamas that's gonna be coming, or a Cavendish, or units like this that you're gonna be able to put in the main team and then wait for them to die so that the Zoro at the end of the match comes in and does a lot of damage. But we're gonna have to be seeing how that goes. I will go through the abilities of the new Legend Kaido and the new Legend Zoro, and why I think Legend Kaido is definitely gonna be a very strong unit, even though he is driven and powerhouse. So you know that B3 low debuffs him. But yeah, I think he's really gonna be maybe not game changing, but definitely he's gonna put some competition for the slashers, I think. And I'm gonna also be showing a possible team that you're gonna be able to see in the future, because there's also a new Pyro Rumble unit, which is the Lucy, Quick Lucy, and he's actually really great for Kaido also. So you're gonna be seeing how this meta is gonna be looking like. But without further ado, let's start with the analysis of these two new units, and we're gonna be seeing hopefully when they come out how they perform. So here's an image of the new Legend Kaido. As you are seeing in the image, his sprite is actually really great, and it's when he is using Thunder Bagua, and it's really great artwork. But the thing is, as you can see in the right picture, Kaido has actually only 26 cooldown, and I'm gonna be reading to you what he does, and if 26 cooldown for what he does is actually insane. And also considering his passive, it's actually really surprising that they went for that. And as you guys can see, he also has a considerable amount of speed, and you're gonna be seeing with the passive that he has really high speed, and then with the he has a considerable amount of defense too, 184. It's not bad at all. It could be much worse. Is acceptable. So yes, but now let's look at what his Power Rumble special and ability do. So as you guys saw, the charge time is 26 seconds, which is very low because his special actually at level 10 targets all enemies for defense down level 3. I'm pretty sure this is all enemies. I have seen various translations and I'm pretty sure it means that. It's a little bit up to interpretation, but I'm pretty sure that it means all enemies for defense down level 3. For 5 seconds, it's okay, the 5 seconds, it's not that long, but the thing is you want the defense down for his special, so you don't really care that much if the defense down lasts or not. So very similar in that sense to PvP Whitebeard. The thing is PvP Whitebeard gives defense down level 5, but after giving the defense down, which is very good because it means the defense down is gonna be affecting the damage from the special, he will deal 2 times attack in damage. And I'm assuming that this means to all enemies too, because it doesn't say any range, and in all other translations that I have seen, it doesn't specify any targeting, so I'm assuming that this is to all enemies, which is amazingly well. Like this is like Stronghold Ace but with defense down, so it's amazing. And on top of that, he gives 50% chance of paralysis to all enemies for 20 seconds, which might not seem very relevant, but the thing is, the slashers are really fast and they have a lot of attack up, so their normal attacks are actually dealing a lot of damage. And if you can just basically say no, you don't have normal attacks, once they have launched the specials, you don't have to worry about anything, like just to kill them before they actually activate again. So the thing is with paralysis is that they won't really hit you, so you are gonna be able to activate your specials much faster. Well, not much faster, but more at the moment and attack a lot more times. So yeah, it's gonna be really great. It's true that it's only 50% chance of paralysis, but yeah, and also keep in mind that Roger avoids that, I think so, and Odin too probably. But well, it's gonna be somewhat relevant, this paralysis, but the important thing is the defense down and the really high damage guaranteed to all enemies that cannot miss, because the problem with Odin, for example, is that sometimes he misses with the targeting. It's really annoying because it can mean that you basically lose, but with Kaido there's not that, so you just get very high damage guaranteed. And his passive is actually insane. He's a quick type centered passive, as I mentioned before, and he gives a level 5 HP up, very good, and defense up level 3. That combination is really great, and it doesn't specify any seconds for which it lasts, so I'm assuming that this defense up is for the whole match, which is very sorry, yes, it specifies it's 40 seconds, but that's what you need actually for going up against the slashers, because the first 40 seconds are really important. And to himself, he gives a level 10 attack up and level 10 speed up. So I'm not really sure if these 40 seconds, I'm pretty sure that the 40 seconds are referring to the attack up and speed up. So yes, as I was saying, the defense up is for the whole match, I'm pretty sure, but it could change depending on translations. But this level 10 attack up and level 10 speed up at the beginning, well, the first 40 seconds to himself is absolutely massive, considering what his special does. That's a lot of attack up, and then he's gonna have a lot of speed. But the fact that he's giving speed to himself not only is making him activate faster, it's also helping that he doesn't really get affected that much by the speed down of the passive of B3 Law in the slashers, because he's powerhouse and driven, so he gets debuffed by B3 Law. But the thing is that he gives speed, a huge amount of speed to himself, so it's not really that relevant that B3 Law debuffs him. So yeah, that's really great. Yes, B3 Law gives him special city down level 6, but you don't really need, because he has low cooldown. But if you want, you can use a special city up to quick for yourself. For example, Tesoro or Sugar, which is very great because both of the units are actually quick. So, well, Sugar is a quick center, so of course she's quick. And then the pattern is actually normal attack, strong attack, and full power attack, which is great. And the resistance, the Pirate Festival resistance is very interesting because he resists special bind, so obviously that's really good. There's no, for example, Halloween Law that will special bind him. Halloween Law will be coming out in the next weeks, so not there's not that option to special bind him. And then he reduces 30% of incoming strength damage. That's absolutely massive because Odin is the main damage dealer of the slashers, and his strength. So he's gonna be resisting Odin quite well because apart from the damage reduction from the defense, he also has a 30% damage reduction from the resistance. So that's gonna be very important, and you're gonna be seeing when I show you some possible teams that there are gonna be. I mean, you're gonna be seeing the potential that these teams I think that they will have. But yeah, now we're gonna talk about the Zoro and then the new Pirate Rumble Lucy, and you're gonna be seeing what I mean with the combination of this Lucy and Kaido and PvP Whitebeard and stuff like that. It's gonna be a pretty interesting team. So yeah, let's see this Zoro now. So here we have the Zoro. Here's the information. Well, his special is actually on a low cooldown too. I have not found the image so that you can see it, but his cooldown is also under 30 seconds. I do not really remember, but I think it's like 28 maybe, something like this. And yeah, so it's very pretty low cooldown, and for what the special does, it's really good. So his special does one-time character attack in damage. This time it's not guaranteed to all enemies. It's in a large frontal range. But then if you are at the second half of the match, then he will give 2 times attack additional to the 1 times attack. And then if you are in the last 30 seconds of the match, an additional 2 times attack. So what that means, I'm pretty sure, is that he's gonna be doing 3 attacks and very high damage. So if you add that together, that's actually 5 times attack, which is insane. Like this is just insane. Like if Zoro lands an attack that targets your whole team under 30 seconds, you're dead. Like there's no question about it. Even though you might have a lot of defense, 5x attack, it's no joke. And like mostly because he will also be buffing the attack. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how this Zoro performs in a slasher team. I'm not really sure how he can fit because I mean the slashers are, as I said before, are focused on basically killing the enemy team very fast at the early game and not at the late game. So Zoro might not be able to help the slashers a lot with that, but definitely, for example, in Dex teams, I think it's gonna be interesting, and that might be actually the unit that Dex teams needed, like a very high damaging unit. And the thing is, Dex have a lot of tanky units like Rayleigh or the Pyro Rumble Asobamash that's gonna be coming up in global, and other units too, like the Legend Kid, for example, Jinbe, for example. Like there's a lot of very tanky units in the Dex teams. So if you can put like all these Pyro Rumble units and the Zoro at the bench, I think it's gonna be pretty interesting to see how it performs, because Zoro actually has also a very special resistance, which he's immune to special bind. It seems like all good units are immune to special bind now, and he reduces actually 30% of incoming quick damage, so very similar to the Kaido, but in quick. So that's very interesting because it means that he's actually not taking as much damage from the Kaido or PP Whitebeard or units like that, and seeing how the meta might not change, but also go towards the quick direction. Zoro is gonna be really interesting because he's gonna be tanking the quick damage much better. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he performs. But now let's talk about the Power Rumble Lucy, and finally we will talk about some possible variations of a team that I have thought, and like the crazy things that I think it's going to be able to do. So here's the new Power Rumble Lucy. Here you can see an image, and he's a quick centered unit. So let's see what his abilities do. So, in the case of Lucy, I have not really managed to find anywhere where I could see the cooldown of his special, and that's really a shame. I do not really understand why they are not putting information on Pyro Rumble in new units in the database. I know, like they are doing the best they can, and it's a lot of work, but the thing is, the main idea of a Pyro Rumble unit is his Pyro Rumble passive and special, and it's not on the database. Like I don't think this unit is important for the main game. It's basically important for Pyro Rumble. So yeah, it's a shame that I couldn't find any information on the timing of the special. So I'm assuming though that it's gonna be kind of a low cooldown, similar to Kaido, probably like 26, 27, 28. I'm assuming it's gonna be something like that because it's a Power Rumble unit, and they do not really tend to have that high of a cooldown. But let's see what his special does. So his special, he will debuff in defense down level 3 the strength enemies, very good against Odin. Don't need to say, and 2 times character attack in damage in sideways medium range. So it's a medium range, not a not a big range, but yes, I think it's gonna be very amazing. Also because he's debuffing the defense of Odin anyway, even though Odin is not targeted by the damage. So that's gonna be quite effective, but it's only 5 seconds, so it's not gonna be that relevant. But I think that's a lot of damage, and you cannot really ignore that. Then his passive is gonna be giving attack up level 5 to quick and HP up level 5. So a lot of I'm sure you guys are thinking the combination of this unit with Kaido, and that's a level 10 HP up with a combination of PvP Whitebeard, level 15 HP up to quick, and that's obviously a lot. Apart from Kaido giving a lot of defense also, and a lot of damage and defense down with a combination of these 3 units, and it's actually kind of insane. I have checked in the database the classes of this unit, and I do not remember the second class, but I'm pretty sure he's striker, so it's gonna be interesting to see because he could see some play also in striker teams with Nekomamushi, because he's striker and he's gonna be getting the defense, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. And yeah, in terms of resistance, he has a 60% chance to move action bind, so yeah, obviously really good, only 60%, but I think it's gonna be pretty relevant. So yeah, now I'm gonna be showing you guys some combinations that I think that are gonna be very interesting to see as a teams of quick teams, for example, and because there's a lot of interesting units in quick, and I think a lot of combinations are possible there, and it's gonna be interesting to see how that goes. So without further ado, let's go check these teams. So I'm here in the tier maker, and I have super selected like a group of interesting quick units, and we're gonna be trying to make some teams with that. Also have some other units that I think that could work well in a kind of team like that, but I'm gonna be explaining why. I mean, obviously these 2 units here and this because they cost 20 and you can fit them at the end of the team, but there's also other reasons regarding this B3 cousin that you could actually make use of. So yeah, basically we're gonna be trying to make a team with Kaido in it, and we're gonna be seeing also we are gonna be using the Lucy, and PvP Whitebeard, obviously. So I think Kaido and PvP Whitebeard is a very, very clear option that you have. So with these two units, you already have a level 10 HP up, which is kind of ridiculous, so that's a lot. And if you add the Lucy in the main team, don't think if that I don't think if that's the best idea, but I think that's definitely an option. If you add him, you have level 15 HP up, and in total you have a defense up level 3. It's not that high, the defense up, but you have on the Kaido attack up level 15, which is a lot, and speed level 10 on the Kaido. So I think though there's a better option, not it's a better to put Lucy in the bench, even though the HP up will have no effect when he comes in from the bench. But I think that's a good option that you have, because actually you can put this Stasi in the main team, because at the very start of the team she's gonna be giving you a lot of speed for the team. Then she's gonna be giving you defense, and I'm pretty sure she gives attack up. So yeah, basically instead of the level 15 HP up, you have level 10 HP up, but with 3 units you have level 10 HP up, level 7 defense up, and level in total I think it's level 5 speed up for these 2 units, and level 15 speed up for Kaido. And keep in mind that Kaido gets debuffed by law, so that's level 9 speed up. So and it's quite significant considering that there's only 2 units. Now you have two options, I would say here. One option that I think is really interesting is something like that, because this guy is actually giving speed level 6 to Quick and Sai. So you can be making some very interesting combinations with that. So it's true he's only gonna be getting defense up level 3. But with the combination of these 4 units is actually kind of insane, because these 3 units are gonna have defense up level 10 at the very start, which is amazing, and speed up level 11. I'm pretty sure. I think Stasi gives speed up level 5. So Stasi's buffs only last the first 30 seconds, so it's important that you put her in the main team, and then probably I would put her in the spot where it takes more damage. So because when a unit dies, it's gonna be in the first 30 seconds against the slashers, and you want the first one to die to be Stasi, because once her passive is gone, you have not really that much use for her. Yes, the special is dealing a lot of damage to one enemy. So if the special gets activated, it can actually one-shot a unit. But I think it's actually better for her to die before activating their special, and then a unit comes in with max special and does potentially more damage. So yeah, I think something like this, I think it's a very, very good option of a team. I'm gonna put it like the placements as an attacking team. So I think the units that should be in the corner, so in the spot where take the less hits, is the 2 units that do not have the defense up from Kaido and Stasi. So Roger and Kuzan are gonna be having defense at level 6, which is the same defense that the slashers have at the very start. But then these 3 units at the middle are gonna be having defense at level 13, which is a lot. And also in terms of speed, this team is really, really speedy, because this is like speed up level 11 plus 5. That's speed up level 16 for the whole team. 11 for the two quick units. And then Kaido himself has a speed level 26, and counting the debuffs of load, and speed level 20, which is still a lot. So in terms of HP, yes, it's true that the Roger and Kuzan do not have that high HP, but the thing is that you don't really care for Kuzan's special, so it's actually also good if he dies and then a unit comes in max special from the bench. So I think that's interesting. Like, I think Roger is important to protect him and to put him in the spot where he gets less hits, because you want his special to get activated, and hopefully in general you will be able to do that, but well, because this team is very, very speedy, so it's gonna make for the slasher team is gonna be harder to activate that fast all the specials and kill your Roger, but we're gonna be having to see how that goes. I really like this combo, but yes, but the thing is that as you have two Pyro Rumble units here, this is only costing you two of these units are costing 110 plus 40, that's 150, and 150, and then plus 55, that's 205. So you still have 95 cost of units to put, so you can put a full legend in the bench and two Pyro Rumble units. So that's actually kind of ridiculous. So some options that I have thought about are actually, if you're going for this kind of quick and Sai, why not put Kalgar and Nolan on the bench, and then obviously put the Lucy, and you have room for a legend. So I think maybe one legend that could be good is this one, because he's also giving a lot of damage and a lot and speed to shooters, which Kuzan is shooter, but probably he's going to be dying. But at least he's giving speed to himself. But probably there's some other better options, like for example this B3 Kuzan that will be receiving some buffs. And actually, I think that this B3 Kuzan has a lot of potential also in the main team, so in kind of a more focused quick team. But so I'm gonna be considering that in the second team that we'll build. But I think a combination like this, maybe a carrot you could put, even a Kuzan. But the thing is that slashers avoid action bind, well, Roger and Odin. So yes, the usability of this Kuzan is kind of low right now against slashers. But yeah. So I think that's a very, very good option. I think though, Calgar Nolan should be last, and then um, because let's think about it. The probably the first wait, that should be like this. The first unit to die is gonna be probably the Stasi, which has low cooldown. So maybe you want Lucy to be here so that when Stasi dies, he comes in with seconds of the special of Stasi. If Stasi activates the special, it's no problem because it's gonna be having dealt a lot of damage because it's three times attack to one unit. So probably she's gonna have one-shotted one unit. So it's not that much of a problem. And if she dies before activating, then probably the Lucy comes in. And then when Kuzan dies, then Lucci comes in, or when Roger dies, Lucci comes in. So I think this is a lot of damage because you have to consider the damage from potential activation of Roger, PvP Whitebeard, Kaido, the Lucy, the Vito Lucci, and the Calgar and Nolan, and 1, 2, and 3. And if you activate Roger 2, like 4 units are giving sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units are giving defense down. Well, Lucy is only giving defense down level 3 to strength, but still. So 5 units giving lead defense down and damage. That's really, really great. And I think this team is going to be pretty interesting to see. So another option that you could do, we are also going to use the Kaido, but one unit that I mentioned before that you could use is this B3 Kuzan, because this B3 Kuzan is gonna get buffed in Pyro Rumble. So I don't really remember the exact numbers, but I think he gives a really, really high speed and attack up to a strength, quick, and dex. But in this case, we're gonna be using him mainly for quick. So I think it's like level 8 speed up and maybe level 9 attack up, but don't quote me on the numbers. But I'm sure that it's like that high of a buff at the very start of the match, and then at when certain amount of seconds, I think it's 30 seconds have passed or 15, I'm not really sure. Then he is going to be giving the buffs, but not as high. But yeah, still, I think this is going to be a very good combo because it's a lot of speed, a lot of HP up, and a lot of damage because his special is actually getting buffed, and he's gonna be giving 2 times to enemies and special binding enemies. I'm not really sure how many enemies he can special bind, but I'm sure it's 100%. So it's really, really great. And keep in mind that Odin doesn't actually ignore special bind, so that's gonna be a good option to see. And obviously we can put PvP Whitebeard to add a level 5 HP up and a lot of damage and defense down. So This combo is a lot of damage, a lot of defense down, a lot of speed, and a lot of attack up because Kaido himself is buffing himself and completely ignoring the speed down from the passive of Law, and also further buffing his speed a little bit more, including, I mean, the passive of V3 Law. So these three units are very, very good, and I think obviously you could put a Stasi on too and use the same strategy that you want the Stasi to get hit the most. Now, as there is no side units, I would actually put the PP Whitebeard protected. So with the other units, it's gonna go here, and PP Whitebeard and Kaido are the two, I would say, important units. So we will keep them in the site. I think this other spot is dependent because with this combination of four units, you have defense up level 7, speed up level 13, or I don't know, really, really high speed, more than the slashers, and Kaido himself even more, and HP up level 10, which is really, really great. And in terms of attack up, these two units give attack up and Kaido to himself. So that's a lot of buffs for a team with only four units. And now we can be a little bit creative. If you want more speed, you can put Carrot. If you want more HP, you can put Frankie, and then he's gonna be giving also some defense up. Even if you want, you can put the Zoro to give a little bit of defense up at the very start, and also a special CT up level 5 because that's gonna be helping not only Kaido to resist the passive of B3 Law, but also these other units and himself to uh, their specials to get activated much faster. If you want just for the special city up, maybe you could put Cracker because that I do not really recommend because he buffs the special city up of Powerhouse and Kaido's Powerhouse, but these other units are not, so I do not really recommend. This unit, as I explained, is a great buff for Quick, so that's other options that you could do. Also, the Bellamy is buffing the HP of Driven, and Kaido is Driven, and he's also giving with a low cooldown, defense down, but and a health cut, but it's not ideal. But there's some options that you can do. And probably you could still put the Kuzan, but I do not think that's the best idea. And also, of course, the PP limited rare recruit Lucy in the starting team. So that's if you do this, it's gonna be like attack up. I think let's say Kuzan gives attack up level 8. So maybe he gives more, but I'm not sure. So that's 8 plus 5, that's 13 plus 5 more. That's 18 plus the level 10 attack from Kaido. Kaido's gonna be having a lot of attack up. And then PP Whiteberry 2, which is what, and also like your units are damage dealers. So that's very, very good for a team. And you have a lot of speed and HP up, so you are kind of tanky too, and you have defense up level 7 at the very start for because Stasi only gives for the first 30 seconds, so keep that in mind. But yeah, I think some combination like this is gonna be really interesting, but you could also put like Lucy on the bench and Frankie at the main team, and then Lucy comes in with the damage, and probably it's the same scenario as the previous team, so you can put like another PP limited rare recruit and another legend here. So you could even do something like this, like put another Calgaran Nolan, and like obviously at the end, and then another legend. So if you want, you can put a carrot. If you want, you can put the carrot like this, but then I don't recommend putting Frankie on the bench. So there's a lot of options that you can do. And even you can put a non-related quick character that gives a lot of damage. So for example, you can put even Odin here, like, yes, I don't care, I'm gonna deal a lot of damage, you know? So you have a lot of options. So these teams are gonna be quite strong, I'm pretty sure. You could also put this Lucci, which is gonna be really, really great. But yes, as you can see, these quick teams, quick and side teams are gonna probably be seeing a lot of play now with the release of Kaido and also this Lucy. So I think the release of Kaido basically further buffs the greatness of PP Whitebeard and also leaves us room to use the buffs of V3 Kuzan because even though he received the buffs, he wasn't getting that much play because there was no unit like Kaido to give like a lot of damage and HP to the units in a quick team. And I think these teams are gonna be pretty interesting to see, and probably they're gonna be able to do some stuff against the slashers. I'm not gonna say like the meta is gonna be changing. But probably, as I said before, it's gonna be kind of more of a shared meta, but it's too soon to say. But I think these are very, very strong possibilities, and there's a lot of options. As you can see, there's a lot of units that we didn't use. Like you could use the Kaku just because he's a Fire Rumble of cost 20, and that's a lot of damage with the special if you don't have Calgar Nolan or if you prefer AoE damage and no and not just damage to one unit. So yeah, you have a lot of options and it's gonna be interesting to see. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think of these units and if you're gonna be pulling for them. I think these units are, if you care about PvP, I think these units like Kaido for the most part, but also Zoro, are actually the next units to pull for. So I would keep that in mind. With the release of these units, I would say I do not really recommend if what you care the most is PvP. I do not recommend pulling for Kaido Big Mom. I do recommend pulling for these units though. So what I would say it's probably if you have some gems, it's anniversary, so probably pull on the anniversary and maybe you get Luffy Sanji, which are a very good unit also in Battle Rumble. So that's the unit that we have upcoming that's really interesting. B3, sorry, before Law, so Halloween Law, so this unit here, um, is pretty good in Pyro Rumble too, but I do not think it's worth to pull on that Suko Fest. So probably I would spend the gems that you have on Luffy Sanji. Probably not a lot of people are gonna be able to guarantee him, because probably not a lot of people are gonna be able to do 20 multis, but maybe you're lucky and you get him, and even if you do or you don't, then just save your gems for the Pararumble Lucy and for the release of Kaido and Zoro, because also Kaido and Zoro are Dex super types and Quick super types, which are very rare in the normal game. Only the starting release of Dex and Quick super types are in the game, so they are also going to be very very useful units in the normal game, and they are obviously really really good. So yeah, let me know again what you think of these units and if you are deciding on pulling for them or saving for them or not. But yeah, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.